Hi there. Once again, it's Alcon Recon. This time, it is Manchester City. I like to call it my favorite team, and it is my favorite team because of the fact that they're consistently competent in the game of football, whether it's their administrators, whether it's their manager, and the players definitely. But over the last two or three matches, there were strange things that may have been happening. Now, this is not a challenge against Guardiola. He's a marvelous coach. He knows what he is doing. Sometimes he knows more than everybody else because he deals with his players all the time. Well, at certain times you often wonder. One game he played against Chelsea in recent times, and there were 5 players on the field who have not been playing in the team as starters at all. We knew why. Because the players who would have been going to the World Cup in the next 13, 14 days, he wanted to have the countries that they come from satisfied that he's pulling them away so that they can remain firm. They're not going to have the chance of injury and anything else. But it did weaken the performance of Manchester City. It happened in 3 different games. Now, is that logical? How does one deal with a situation like that? You're looking at a World Cup that's facing you, and you're looking at a club that has to get points out of it and at risk of injuries. Manchester City fell into that category, and up to this point, they've not been able to miss Kyle Walker and Laporta, who tried to come back and he got injured again. A number of others. This is not the clubs. This is not the players. This is the time of year that you put the FIFA World Cup and the length of time in between the Premier League and the World Cup. This is unrealistic. You do not expect teams to move into 13 or 14 days until they have played in their own respective countries and clubs. There are a number of disadvantages in the situation. The first one is you've got to retaliate to the everything that has been done in it. One, the injury part, let's put this apart. But even when countries have to travel from one place to another to get to Qatar, and their time difference is like 12 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours, they've got to reorganize their sleeping habit, their eating habit, their running habits, and by all means, they will have to reorganize their entire football image on the field. This is not an easy thing. This is not something that the players can't do for themselves. This is not something that they can do at all if they're still living in their area, playing the games that they're playing and coming out there, and all of a sudden they realize, well, it's 11 o'clock in the evening, but I want to have breakfast. Because they will have lost their way of eating. They will have to change that. And then they will want to be sleeping at about 10 o'clock in the morning, when in truth and fact in their country, it's about 11 o'clock in the night. I am a little bit uncomfortable with it. And I hope that the players and the management can sort of put it into perspective and see if they can get them for the 21st of November to play the type of game that they're supposed to play. We must also remember some clubs have only one player in going to the national team. Some have 4. When you get players suddenly with 10 days to go or 11 days to go, how could you gel them into the kind of footballer that you want to the World Cup? That's a difficult situation, and it probably will show itself. I'm not going to be trying to look forward in advance, but I have a really good belief, having seen the last 10 World Cups, there are a number of times these things have happened. Nobody knows about it because it varies from country to country. But thank heavens, there are some wonderful players going in to the World Cup. with a little guy called Vinci Jr. from Brazil. Look out for that kid. He's just a marvelous footballer. And then there are a lot of others, of course, like Kevin De Bruyne, another one of them. And Benzema, beautiful playing. These guys are going to show up, and they're going to show up well. Even Motrin, the little guy from Croatia with Real Madrid, he is going to be a game changer once again. He's just a marvelous player. So we're going to have a variety of good football. But I'm hoping and praying that there is readjustment to their lifestyle before the whistle blows on the 21st of November in Qatar.